Hello, my name's Simonize, and welcome to another Simonize stream. We've been going for quite a while today, starting with an Ulduar 10, where we used Shard of Azzinoth for fun to summon a bunch of Ember of Azzinoth throughout the entire raid. That was really cool. Then we went to Hardcore Classic and leveled up my Rogue from 35 all the way up to level 37, which included going through the dungeon Razorfen Crawl with all hardcore characters. No one has ever died. And, if anyone dies, they delete their character or appeal, if they, never mind. I was going to throw shade at some people who have appealed a lot of times, but I don't know enough specifics to really throw shade on that. Anyways, I'm getting off track. If you're watching on YouTube, you can go down below the video. There will be timestamps to everywhere in the video if you're looking for something specific. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, we do stream 6 days a week at twitch.tv/SimonizeShow. So at the very moment you're watching on YouTube, we might be live. Maybe pop by on Twitch, check us out, see if we're live. Right now, the activity we're looking at is Trial of the Grand Crusader. 25 man. That's when it's called Grand Crusader, that is what they do to call it heroic. So this is heroic difficulty. And we're finally together with my guild. So I think, we'll do well. We did some 10-mans with the guild last session, but we weren't able to put together 25 people on short notice for the first PTR session within the guild. So the only 25-man groups I've done up to now have been just groups I joined on the PTR that were looking for extra fills. I'm excited to try this out with my guild. I think, we'll be able to move through the raid quicker than I've experienced so far. And, it should be fun. I've not killed Anub'arak on 25-man heroic yet. I have killed it in 10-man. I've attempted it in 25-man heroic, but none of the groups I've been in have secured a kill. And I'm thinking this will certainly be the group that secures a kill. So let's see, we'll get a little fish feast right there. Boom. Little conjured mana strudel. We don't really need that. We'll go deadly poison there. Regale us with the legend of Heroclito. Oh, dude. This was an ancient legend from the times of Burning Crusade. Wait, someone's got feedback. Your mic's open and playing my stream through the Discord. Heroclito, gosh, I'm trying to remember. He would come into the stream and ask me for blessed luck for his warglaives to drop, and then it was many, many, many weeks, and the warglaives weren't dropping. But then, they finally dropped. The warglaives finally dropped, and Heroclito got both of the warglaives. That's what I remember. Is that about right? Is that about what you remember as the legend of Heroclito as well? Were there more details to it? I think there were more details to it. That's about right? Yeah, okay. Main hand first week, offhand last week? Okay, that's an important detail, I would say. That's an important detail. That really emphasizes the story. Okay, put our instant poison over here on this boot blade. We have deadly poison on the twister. Instant poison this masticator. What we'll probably do is switch to combat for every boss past the first, would be my thought. Intruder, Terrorblade, Helmet. This looks like we need a 2-piece bonus here. Like there. That should be good. There. And then we'll switch the gear around when we go combat. I think so. Let's see. Beast of Northrend, I think it's definitely Assassination. Jaraxxus, I think, is definitely combat. Faction Champions is kind of whatever. Twin Valkyr, I think it depends largely on your kill time. Like, if you're just over a 2-minute interval, like if you're killing it in 2 minutes 30 seconds or 4 minutes 30 seconds, combat's going to look really good, because that's like right after they got an additional use of Blade Flurry. Whereas if you're killing it in like 3 minutes 30 seconds or exactly 4 minutes, combat's going to look pretty bad, because, you know, the number of Blade Flurries per minute is lower at that, you know, time interval. Peer Review, gifting a tier 1 sub to the community. Thank you so much. You've gifted 3 subs. Thank you, Peer Review. I appreciate your generosity. That's awesome. So Twin Valkyr, like, there's 2 mobs up the entire time, so you can, you know, you can Blade Flurry whenever. Another thing is, on Twin Valkyr, since there's always 2 mobs up, you probably don't want a Killing Spree glyph, because you always want to sync up your Killing Spree with a Blade Flurry. So you could just, like, throw some other glyph on, or whatever. Then for Anub'arak, if you care about total damage dealt, it's definitely combat. If you care about boss damage dealt, and you don't care about dealing damage to the adds, I would say it is definitely Assassination. Let's get some Tricks of the Trade macros sorted out. Goulash Cannon. We were raiding with the Germans before. I remember that. Let's see. Alright, we're all PvP flagged. Let's see. Elmlock. Is this guy Affliction? Hell yeah. Yeah, dude, the last 25-man pug was a German guild that we joined up with. It was pretty cool. They were talking in German over the voice chat. I really didn't know what they were saying, but it's like, it's okay. I understand what the bosses do, so I just like did the things, and it was fine. But we have 6 paladins in this raid? Insane, dude. These are 2 prot paladins. This guy's a healer, this guy's a healer. These 2 are rets. So we have 2 prot, 2 holy, 2 ret right now. Yeah, hopefully we have enough divine sacrifice effects. I think they're trying to sort out finding one more healer. To fill up this raid. Oh, Bellicity switched from Mage to Paladin. We now have 7 Paladins in this raid. But we're good to go here. You know, I got my shit under control. What? Except I gotta clean these glasses. Is that enough for 100% uptime on Divine Sacrifice? What is it, like a 2-minute cooldown with a 6-second duration? Not quite. Okay. Castlevania soundtrack has a couple of weeb songs in it. We just have to skip it every time they come up. We don't tolerate songs with lyrics in the background. Not for background music. Hang on, we gotta figure something out. Which rogue wants to be full-time combat? Anyone? I know No Stealth likes spec swapping. No Stealth says, sounds like you do. We can roll for it if no one volunteers. Alright, we're rolling for who has to be dedicated combat. But No Stealth seems to have volunteered. This is now my main, which is the character I cloned over here, is now my only character who does not have Golden Serenite Dragon. Both of my alts have Golden Serenite Dragon. So my combat set on this one is a little bit yikes. Not having the dragon. Just having these masticators. Why do we have 7 paladins? Bro, it's because this is who showed up. That's just how it worked out. Look, we got 2 rep paladins, 2 prop paladins, 3 holy paladins. We got a discipline priest. I assume he's playing discipline. Vive likes playing discipline generally. Might be holy. He's a healer for sure. Let's see. This is Boomkin. This is Feral Druid. So we have no Resto Druid. Secret Biss is Enhanced Shaman. Hunter. What are our potential other healer classes? Alright, whatever. I'm sure you have, but did you test chicken spec on any of the cleave fights? Yeah, I don't think that's very good. I think, like, if you want to do more damage, and, like, the objective is to deal damage to multiple targets, it's like, just go combat. I feel like the Blade Flurry Assassination build mostly exists because it still categorizes you as Assassination. And it's like, if you, like, it allows you to still be categorized as Assassination as far as Warcraft logs is concerned for your parse ranking. But it's like, if you want to do more actual damage on a multi-target fight, it's like, just go combat. Oh, Marty says, better expand that damage meter to see yourself. You mean shrink, right? I'll be up here. I'll still be able to see my damage output here. Just concerned if I had it bigger, El Marty, to like make sure you would at least show up on there, but like maybe it's more embarrassing for you to show up at the bottom of the meter than to not show up at all. So like do you think this is better where you're gonna not show up at all? Wait, which worm should we kill first? Okay, that's all the strategy advice I need. Alright, they're gonna go over some, like, raid strategy stuff. They told us we're killing Acid Maw. So the 3 beasts, the Northrend Beast, is like a 3-phase encounter. You fight 3 different bosses. And, you start with Gormak the Impaler, and all you need to know about Gormak the Impaler is he throws snowbolts onto random raid members. And then that random raid member needs to move into melee and then stand still. And then the melee can, like, cleave the snowbolt or whatever and kill it. And as long as the snowbolt is on top of that person's head, it, like, will randomly stun them or disarm them or whatever. There's strats in TOGC. Who told you that? There are not strats in TOGC. Anyways, let me continue talking about the strats in TOGC. The next boss in Northrend Beasts is Acid Maw and Dreadscale. This one is always a clusterfuck, and every group I've been in has fucked it up. Basically, at some point during Acid Maw and Dreadscale uses an ability called Burning Bile. It targets a random raid member and then puts a debuff on them, and I believe it also debuffs everyone around them. I'm not sure if it does that too, but the debuff itself, what it does, for sure, is it pulses fire damage to the recipient of the debuff and everyone around them. So what always gets screwed up is one person gets Burning Bile, like this guy, Judel, maybe, and then, like, everyone else just chills, and then it ticks for damage, and then it ticks for damage again, and then they're all dead. Alright, we're stealthing. So yeah, that's basically how you fail on Acid Maw and Dreadscale, is, like, letting Burning Bile kill everyone. That's not important. Then you go, the third boss after you kill both the worms is Ice Howl. And there's 2 things you need to know about Ice Howl. You need to stand at maximum melee range, so you avoid his Whirl knockback ability. Otherwise, he's just going to knock you out of melee range. You lose a bunch of uptime. It'll be awful. And the second thing is, when he jumps into the middle of the arena, he'll cast an ability called Massive Crash. And when that happens, you have to vanish the Massive Crash so you don't get stunned. And that way you can deal more damage to the boss. Look at this. Gormak the Impaler. Where's the snowbolt going? Bring the snowbolt immediately. There, okay, he knows what he's doing. Okay, we'll get this Envenom off, then we'll tab to the snowbolt. There, and we'll go back to boss. Re-up Hunger for Blood. Get that Envenom, tab to this snowbolt. Back to boss. JK, back to Snowbold Vassal. There's another one out. These guys have a pretty small hitbox radius. Sweet. Sprint back. Uh-oh, tank is dead. We can cloak off that poison. Okay, they go underground. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. F. This is the one I was supposed to kill. Wait, Elmarty's actually on the damage meter. I was making fun of him before because he wouldn't show up in top 5. But turns out he will show up in top 1. Wild. Congratulations, Elmlock. Renzer says, Simon only played Revliching for the PvP. No, I didn't. That's the worst boss. I hate that boss. The wolf pet had to get killed before it would reset the encounter. You can die on PTR? Yeah, it is actually possible. Here we go. Fish feast. Eat it up. How much DPS is the warrior doing? I don't know. But it's not top 5. Let's see. Not much. But, like, that was a wipe where some people died early. So, let's put it back to top 10. That's how I usually have it displayed. Okay, so the meta tank was one of the tanks for the worms, and the reason they died was because they took a lot of extra damage because they still had the impale debuff from Gormok, and one way you can get rid of that between the bosses is to just have a paladin bop the tank, and that'll clear off all the impale stacks. Bro, dude, this one pull of Northrend Beasts is not representative of how good warriors are. Come on, you guys. Don't be ridiculous. I think I'll save Vanish for vanishing one of the sweep knockbacks on the worms. I think that'll be better than using it earlier. And then if I vanish the first sweep on the worms, I should still have Vanish for at least some point during Ice Howl. So I can vanish a massive crash. Yes. And it's very helpful if the tank is not moving. Essentially, if the tank has their back to a wall so they don't get pushed around by the knockback effect. They're talking about Ice Howl. Alright, they're doing a little bit more explanation. Okay, they've engaged the boss. Combat starting in 15. Okay. Same thing, Gormak. Gormak the Impaler.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hunger for blood up. Go. One snowbolt is coming out. It is dropped right into the melee. That's nice. Good, back on boss. Keep doing these feints. Okay, get this. Early in Venom, switch to this Snowbolt. Boss is dead. Okay, our plan is to vanish the first sweep.
3, 2, 1.
Where's the sweep? There we go. Nice. Good vanish. Stayed on target. Oh. Okay, we'll do a sprint. See if we can kill this right before... Yeah, killed it before it burrowed underground. That's good. That's good. Okay. We still have our Cloak of Shadows. That's good. If he Burning Biles the melee, we're gonna hit our Cloak. Cloak. Yeah, that definitely applies to everyone. It didn't matter that I cloaked it. There were like 8 people around me that were also got fucking wrecked by it. Yeah, okay, they're calling for intentional wipe here. Is this with guild? This is finally a guild 25-man group Mako boost. All the previous 25s I've done on the PTR have been either other guilds or just pugs on the PTR. Oh yeah, dude, this music does... Okay. Skip ahead. Any background music that has, like, lyrics or vocals, unless it's the Donkey Kong song. That one has lyrics, and that one's okay. You know what? Actually, just, like, let's just go to the next thing. Super Smash Bros. Mix. Let's do it. That one I like. I want to look at the clip of that Burning Bile. I know I hit Cloak of Shadows before I died, and then I still just died anyways. Yeah, they're kind of talking about how they want to handle that, because, like, you don't want to just, like, lose a pull because the Burning Bile, like, just killed all your melee. So they're talking about, like, maybe they have a timer for... If there's a timer for Burning Bile, they could, like, pre-spread out and just, like, hold the melee DPS for a while, then, like, wait for Burning Bile to happen, and then everyone who doesn't have it can collapse back. Flaco, hello? Yeah, I know I got the debuff, then I cloaked, then I died. Yeah. What happens if you kill the other one first? I don't know. I didn't really think about that. They like told me we're killing Acid Moth first, so I'm like, okay, we'll kill Acid Moth first.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, good damage. Is this on overall or... Yeah, it's on current fight. Okay, that's good. They're not moving into melee. You need to move into melee. Firebomb damage? What the fuck? How don't even know what that ability is. That sounds like a ranged DPS problem that got pulled into melee or something like that. And a Cloak of Shadows. Go back on boss. Venom. And we'll go for this Snowbolt. Okay, we're looking for the first sweep. We'll vanish it. Cloak that. Oh, I vanished too early, I think. Oh. Oops. No, I'm okay. Oof. Oh, I thought, does the paralytic thing... I thought I had cloak. I burned my cloak earlier. I pressed cloak, thinking I had cleared my debuff. Then I hadn't, because cloak was actually on cooldown. Yeah, spread out. Burning spray, there it is. So we can go in now somewhat safely. Ooh, there was another burning... Yeah, those people are all dead now. Little Ice Howl action. Go back to maximum melee range. These people up closer, they're gonna get knocked back by the whirl. There it is, and they're gone. Oh, now we're too far. Now we're just right. Nice, some trinkets proccing at right this time is pretty good. Human racial to get out of the stun. Now we gotta go to maximum melee range. There we are. To not get knocked back. we can't negate that one. We do not have a vanish. Alright. So he's going to there, which means we should position close to it so we can get onto him as soon as he's stunned. What I want to experiment with is, like, what's the limit of how close you can get to the boss? Oh, we didn't pay attention to getting to max melee range. You see, we just got pushed. There we are, max melee range, so we shouldn't get pushed next time he does that. There we go, one more hit. Now, it's on Maze, who is there. So I want to be as close as I can without being in his path, so I can get on him right away. Oh, yeah, okay, I made that mistake again. Ice Howl, lots of frost damage there. Back it up, back it up. There we go. Perfect. He's enraged. You want to kill him or intentional wipe here? Okay, kill it. Evasion. He's enraged. Oh, we got killed by the whirl. Oh shit, that's Biss. I need that. True. Blade of Tarask. Crusader Orb. We just barely beat it before, you know, the Enrage was gonna kill us. We kind of lost a lot of people on, you know, the part where we got a bunch of Burning Biles. Okay, we're gonna go combat for Jaraxxus. That's the second boss. Wardy says, I missed it if you did it once before, but you can vanish just before he stomps. Yeah, we did that already. I think the very last one, my vanish was available, but I just didn't realize that it was available. We did it on his very first massive crash. Listen, Wardy, I put out a video day one of the PTR showing myself vanishing the massive crash. On the very first time I ever even saw him cast the ability, I timed the vanish properly. Play the song, please. El Marty, what song are you talking about? Oh, let me see what song this is. This is a good song. Okay, so we're in combat spec. We'll go Berserk. Or this. Wait, we got the Steel Blade Breaker. Oh, shit. Look at that. Okay. Now it is time for combat setup, where we want slightly less expertise. There we go. Twirlers. Okay. Combat time. You know if there'd be a lot of uses for Feint in TOGC? I mean, you use it and it deals more damage, so, like, that's pretty good. Jaraxxus has a fair bit of AoE damage. Especially when you're trying to DPS the Infernals, because, like, they do pulsing AoE damage. Like, if you want to be near them, you're going to take damage, and Feint will help reduce it. Faction Champions, there's a lot of AoE, actually. There's a fair amount of AoE, I'd say, on Faction Champions, especially the Warlock. Keeps trying to cast Hellfire. It's super annoying. Twin Valkyr, I think almost all the damage you take is AoE, and, like, you're probably going to benefit from having Feint active often. Because there's, like, pretty constant raid damage from people screwing up the orb mechanic. And realistically, it's going to be a long time before everyone does the orb mechanic perfectly. Twin Valkyr, then Anub'arak. I don't think there's really much going on Anub'arak for AoE damage to the melee. Stammer's Hammer coming in with Tier 1. Stammer's Fat Hammer. I'm sorry, I missed the middle part. Tier 1, thank you very much for your support. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know you've been around a little while. Thank you for choosing to support me. Papa Daggers, hello, what's up? Yes. Yep. But there's a thing about these. The Nether portal will always spawn exactly on its timer, whereas the volcano is a cooldown. When the timer's up, he might cast it, or he might wait 15 seconds. Depends how long it stays alive. The faster you kill it, like, it's at least one Mistress of Pain that'll spawn out of the Nether portal. If you kill it really quickly, as we should be able to, you'll only get one. But if you kill it slowly, you'll get 2 or 3 or whatever, however long it lives. Okay, so yeah, we did Northrend Beasts. It was, like, not super clean, but whatever, we got it done. Or they're talking about Jaraxxus. I'm imparting my knowledge to my guild, because I've done a lot of 25s already. Most of the guild has had some Trial of the Crusader experience on the PTR, but this is our first time together as a guild. Papa Daggers says, we're sitting there on Discord on a beer and watching your stream. Well, sounds like a good time. I had a good time in your raid yesterday. I hope you have a good time watching my raid today. I was thinking if going Rupture Glyph would be better, asked Call Up. You're talking about, like, dropping the Feint Glyph. I really like the Feint Glyph, because the Feint Glyph just adds damage. Like, it adds damage, and it doesn't mess with your rotation at all. I feel like all the other glyphs mess with your rotation in some way and make it harder and more complicated. Just so it's clear, you are willingly playing combat and not exposing. Yep. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna crank on this fight, okay? Trust. That PTR guild isn't our real guild name. Yeah, the guild name on the PTR was a little a little sus, I would say. Okay, Lord Jaraxxus coming through the giant portal. Combat starts in 12 seconds, according to this. Alright, we hold cooldowns for the nether portal spawn. All I really want to do right now is put up a giant slice and dice so that I have slice totally covered during the nether portal spawn. Evasion, Vanish, more Fan of Knives. Do I have Fan on this spec right now? I really hope I do. That would be ideal if I had Fan on this, you know, glyph setup. Okay, whenever there's 2 targets... Okay, now we're waiting for the volcano is the next time that we're going to pop off with insane AoE. Oh, let's just do another big slice. I think this one's going to be kind of tricky to properly manage. Properly manage your combo points. Okay, nether portal is 5 seconds out. I need to actually change target to the nether portal when I do that so I can have melees on the nether portal. Kill it faster. We got 2 Mistress of Pain. And I wasn't focusing enough damage on Mistress of Pain. Or on Nether Portal. I was just kind of moving over and continuing to cleave. Which, like, does some good throughput, but isn't really what you want to be doing here. You gotta kill the Nether Portal faster. There we go. Okay, let me double check my glyphs. Adrenaline. No, I didn't have the fan one on. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. I had Adrenaline act on and not fan. For a fight where you do that many fans, it's not really ideal. Dude, I would have been top if I had Fan Glyph, for sure. Look at how much damage is from Fan of Knives. 310,000? I had 20% on that, that's 60k. 60k would have put me... Yeah, just barely ahead of Supra. Okay, we're back to Assassination. So I'm gonna go ahead and manually change all of my gear again. There we go. Holy frick, that's a lot of Fan of Knives, yeah. Yeah, we did a lot of Fan of Knives damage. 15% of overall output was Fan of Knives. There we go. Need to go sub-rogue here. CC machine. Yeah, but that means I have to take one of my 2 specs to be subtlety, which seems like a massive L. Do they have a shaman? I'm not seeing a oh, the shaman's enhance. Yeah, when it's resto, it's a high prio kill target. Alright. We're just trying to blast as much single target damage as possible, so that's why I'm picking Assassination instead of Combat here. But I think it probably doesn't matter very much. Healing Stream Totem. Yeah, I mean, I just blast all of the totems that show up. Wind Fury Totem, whatever. Give us a timer for these saps, and then we can do them. Fucking Fell Hunter almost saw me. Yeah, Fell Hunter has, like, bonus stealth detection, right? Do they have that here, or is that only real Fell Hunters? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the sap has to go first. Yeah, we'll try to sap on one. Yeah, one thing my guild does good is fucking damage. We do a lot of damage. Where's the... They said to do the HPL. Here's a healing stream. There's the HPL. Okay, found it. Weird. Unlucky. I got a rocket boot back to the mob. I'm looking for those totems. Tremor totem out. I can see healing stream. There we go. But I'm dead. Dude, is this another no threat PvP fight? Yes, that's exactly what it is. Alright, he's dead. Wind Fury totems. Yeah, they're taking out the totems. They know. The rogue's still popping around. They're calling to kill the druid next. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dead right now. So our DPS is definitely lower. Werecat says, taking a break from Revolutioning then, farming Magisters made me want to delete System 32. Well, you could just, like, not farm Magister's Terrace. That's totally optional. There's a healing stream totem up. Just pick one. They might be able to get this? I'm not sure. No, okay, they called for wiping it. Yeah, it was suggested to me, one of my viewers suggested to me that the healing stream totem is like a massive source of healing for the enemy team. And, like, they drop Wind Fury Totem, they drop Healing Stream Totem. I think those are, like, super high power to knock those down. Alright, they didn't quite get it. Fish Feast. Yeah. Well, this NPC, once he starts Blade Storming, you can't disarm him. You have to preemptive it. Oh, I got mine. When Rogue have to sit on lock 24/7, he's killing every group, you think? We do have a Warlock here. CCM Hellfire. I could try doing that, just focusing on that. But it's like, it takes a lot of damage off of the kill target. That might be good. I'm gonna go with damage on primary target again, and if we fail again, I'll suggest to someone. I'll talk to the team and be like, maybe we do this instead. Okay. Ready? I think that thing will just detect us if we get too close. We're in position, waiting for the timer. What they have lined up is a death grip chain. So one guy is going to death grip the priest to here, and then there's another guy already lined up back there that'll grip him again to just yank the priest way far away from the rest of the team. Yeah, Menarch, some people did... See, look at that. We pull him to the other side of the friggin' room. Oh, that's good. I should have nitro boost instead of sprint. Human Rachel, overpowered as always. Imagine picking troll instead of picking human, because some spreadsheet told you it was better. I need to maybe put some other abilities on my action bar, like a gouge and blind. Those would be good. Whoa. Cloak Evasion Vanish. I don't know exactly what happened to me, but my health went down really fast. So I just pressed all of the panic buttons at once. Immune. Okay, good. They had the Master Spell locked and loaded. Got rid of that Paladin shield right away. Oh, I'm gonna die, maybe? And this guy fuck off, maybe? Kick. I'm just gonna go on this now. Interrupt, Searing Pain. I'm gonna have to get Gouge onto my bar real quick here. Beard. Ooh, I am dead. I think the rogue was on me that killed me. Wind Fury Totem going down. I tried to interrupt the Warlock as much as I could. Yeah, but the Druid will eventually, like, the banish will be on diminishing returns. So they were banishing him at the start, but then they're like, okay, well, we do want to actually kill him. Instead of, like, dealing with this diminishing returns bullshit. It's basically just, like, kill all the healers first. And then kill whatever. How many are dead now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So we have 19 alive. We've killed 3 of theirs. So we're doing good here. Steelbreaker, the warrior, is about to die. Ooh, you just picked off... Roln Stouthorn is the shaman. Enhancement shaman. They're taking him down now. The hunter just... Oh. Hunter got trapped? What? Okay, cool. Alright, I've gotten actually really good, I think, at explaining how to do twin Valkyrs. Oh no, the mirror images just griefed the crowd control. Alright, they're gonna take this down this time for sure. Just a couple of mobs left. This fight is gonna be so difficult to do with 0 deaths if you want to get the mount. I would say probably a actual PvP setup would be better because you'd be able to do a lot of crowd control and move around. Maybe? I mean, the problem with the PvP setups is, like, your damage output is just doo-doo compared to an Assassination or Combat Rogue. So, like, you grief your team's ability to eliminate targets quickly, and you trade that for having slightly more, you know, crowd control ability and defensives. Yeah. Yeah, you could do like fan with crippling and wound poison. You can also do it with mind numbing poison to reduce casting speed. But you only get 2 per rogue. Your locks have to do UA on the healers? Ooh, that's a good idea. Oh, I got a good suggestion from my chat. They said that our warlocks should be doing Unstable Affliction on all the healers. Because, like, the enemy team will try to dispel and do that kind of stuff. And putting Unstable Affliction on the healer would be pretty helpful. Yeah. Okay. Look at that. We got it. Threads of the Ice Walker? Dude, this is Biss also. I need it. Pass on the rest. Run back. Boots of the Mourning Widow. Oh, these are caster boots also dropped. Yeah, I didn't read anything other than the Treads of the Ice Walker. I only recognize the loot that's good for me. I don't think Silent Fang works. Yeah, that's true. One of the stream viewers, community members, got Silent Fang and tested it, and they were finding they, like, literally were not getting any procs. Not just, like, low proc rate, they weren't getting any when using it in raid or using it against a boss level target dummy. Tried arcane bombs? I've not. We switch to combat. Berserking. This one, and this, and this. And this one, and this one. Good enough. You did this mistake yesterday. I think yesterday, Papa Daggers, you weren't moving them back and forth between the portals. That was the main thing I was thinking could have been done better. Oh, you need more people soaking the white orbs. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Light vortex. So the... Would you like me to take this ability thing? I think I can explain it pretty well. Okay, so there's 4 abilities that are that'll happen, and it's kind of like the Freya ads, where you don't know which one you're gonna get first, but it's gonna cycle through all 4 of them before it repeats. So, like by the 4th one, you know which one. The abilities are Light Shield, Dark Shield, Light Vortex, and Dark Vortex. The shield abilities. One of the Valkyr is going to put a big damage shield on themselves that prevents them from being interrupted, and they're going to start casting a heal. If they finish casting that heal, both bosses heal to full health. So you need to switch to the essence that allows you to attack whichever Valkyr, or allows you to do bonus damage to whichever Valkyr is going to have the shield on them. So like right now, most of us are Dark. If Lightbane does the shield ability, cool. We stay the same essence and we keep attacking Lightbane. But if Darkbane did the shield ability, we would quickly switch to the Light Essence and DPS Darkbane. So we break through the shield, then someone throws an interrupt, and we're good. And so the shield ability, it kind of works the same way, can go on either one of them. The Vortex ability is like the Valkyr will like charge up for a couple of seconds, then they'll send out a bunch of pulses of AoE damage equal to the same element as they are. So when Lightbane does Vortex, it's going to pulse a bunch of light damage to the whole raid, which means we don't want to be Dark. We would switch to Light for that. And if Darkbane does, Vortex, well, then most of us are Dark already. We're good. We can absorb that damage. So both the Valkyrs will be tanked right on top of that Light Essence, and we'll see what ability happens first. If the ability requires us to switch to Light Essence, we'll switch to Light Essence, handle the ability, and then once the ability's over, we'll drag both of the bosses over to the Dark Portal on the left. And the reason we do that is because we don't know what the next ability is going to be. We want to have the ability to quickly switch to the opposite element if it's needed. And then, like, every time they do an ability, we see, maybe we move it to the other portal, maybe we don't. We make a Abyss video for the new patch. Yeah, probably eventually, but the information, if you can actually read instead of just watch videos, the information's all there for you on the Discord already. Reading is not this. Okay, okay. Where do I download the reading weak aura? That's a sub-only weak aura. Wait, no, wait, that doesn't work. Menarch, you are a sub. I don't have sub-only weak auras. That's a tier 3 Patreon reward only. When is Wowhead coming? Not up to me. I don't decide when that stuff gets published. Pretty good opener, I'd say. What do you guys think? Pretty good opener? Dark Essence? We can stay near this portal. Actually, we can just go to the graveyard right now. Okay, something didn't exactly go right there. Alright, whatever, go again. We could probably switch this back to an adrenaline. Wait, it is adrenaline. Yeah, okay, whatever. Boom, got it. Any fishy feast. There's the fishy feast. I think the whole thing where, like, when you stack up to 100 stacks the debuff, you get a damage buff, I think it's bait to chase that. Like, if you lose DPS time to chase that thing, you're probably overall not good. Yeah. Okay, we go again. Yeah, basically, like, I hit the adrenaline early because, like, I have so many globals I have to get up right before cleaving. I have to do a tricks, I have to do a blade flurry, I have to do a adrenaline rush. That's 3 globals. That's a lot. It's just a lot of time. Whoa. Okay, well, that's effed. What is... Yeah, that was not the way that was supposed to go. We could assign a dedicated misdirect. Or tricks. Ability soon. Go Dark Essence for Dark Vortex. We are already mostly dark. I just didn't... Ooh, we're dead now. I think it's orbs. So I think the tank just did not generate enough threat, and Dark Bane just kind of went all around like that. Hit a late 100 stack with Blade Flurry coming back? Yeah. Absolutely. PVK, were you doing the misdirect into Darkbane tank? Yeah, okay. Oof. Okay, one thing that's a little confusing to me, but they seem to want to do it this way, is they have both of the tanks using Dark. And the idea is, like, all the Dark people are clustered together, which means the one tank that's tanking Darkbane is not really generating a lot of threat because they're doing reduced damage. Whether to switch or stay, I think. Yeah. Yeah, but when you say dark or light, then, like, you have to think about, okay, which one am I? Do I need to switch or not? I think the clear call is just... If the whole melee stack switches to light, like for one of the abilities, then yeah, the range stack switches to dark. Right. They're talking about this. Tried to tank it last PTR session without white, but that was hopeless and just pointless. Threat was such an issue. I think it'd be good if I helped with threat by, like, tricksing into the other tank. Oh. That was... I don't believe that was intentional. Come on. Where's the ability? I don't know why the killing spree wasn't happening. I pressed it a couple times. Something was messed up. Okay, threat is again a problem. Swap. Here we go. Oh, we're dead. Oh, we got the shield down, but we didn't get an interrupt. No, we want to be right next to the portal there. Alright, release. That was an unintentional pull. We were like mostly ready, so we just went with it anyways. But we didn't actually have a pull timer out. We weren't like everyone ready to go. Fish feast. I think this is one where we kind of just want to do a lot of reps to get people familiar with what's going on. Because we see different abilities every time, just about. Yeah, we did break the shield. We just didn't get a interrupt off last attempt. Yeah, usually the shield is like pretty easy to beat. Wait, did I win the boots? I don't think... I think Metatank is not using an element this time. I think that's on purpose, and I think that's actually a good idea. Oh, no, he's not doing that on purpose. Okay, he's going back to dark. Uses... Isn't it only if he gets the random, like, debuff? I don't know, I mean... I think I had one group do it where the Darkbane tank took no essence. Like, intentionally, so they wouldn't have reduced damage. I don't know how that interacts with the debuffs. Ability soon. Stay same, dark. Yeah, I can try. Okay, we stay here. We don't have to move. Ability in 5. Winds Pact. Stay. Yeah, that's a very lucky order. That's good. Yep. If we want to, we can preemptively switch. Because we know it's going to require us to be light. Yeah, the remaining 2 are going to be light abilities. Correct. Okay, we got literally the easiest ability order. Which actually isn't that rare. Bindings of the Dark Essence, hit crit spell power, Sabatons of Ruthless Judgment. Oh, dude, that's my bis. If I win it on PTR, that's like literally my only chance to ever see that trinket. Because there's no way that shit gets priored to rogues on live. I need it. Death's Verdict, Melmill. Hell yeah, Rogue Prio. Yeah, basically like the strength classes that benefit way more from main stat. I think, like, I can do fat damage as combat, like, cleaving the ads. But I feel like, honestly, the play on this boss, if you want to be, like, the best you can for your team, is to go Assassination and just tunnel boss damage. Like, do more boss damage. Let the other classes handle the ads. That's my thought. Go Assassination. There, fix that. Fix that. Put the expertise boot on. There we go. I think Death's Verdict is one of the situations where it's like, this item, like, definitely benefits a different class significantly more than it benefits, you know, others. It's like, it's best in slot for rogues, and it's best in slot for, you know, warriors, and it's best in slot for Death Knights. And I think, you know, a lot of times when that's the case, it's like, yeah, like, you don't really class prio that. You pretty much just, you know, give it to your best players, your most reliable players, your whatever. I think it's actually pretty rare that you have a, you know, significant difference in how much a class benefits from a particular item versus another class that you would actually, like, put in class prio. Where's my tank? Hang on. We're powering up paint. Okay. Whoopsies. Boss. Facing direction of the boss. Then we need a circle with a solid color fill, blue. Wait, no, we did it wrong. This triangle needs to go... What the fuck? Triangle? Shit. How can I rotate it? God. Paint sucks. Screw that. We're going, brown for tank. Actually, pink for tank, because it's a paladin. Well, they're mostly paladins. Wait, no, they're feral druid for this. tank. Then we have an ice patch. What the? Dude. Fucking paint. God damn it. Okay, now we go blue. And we have an ice patch here. And an ice patch here. And then, whoopsies, stay blue. Now we do pink. There, and then green. Whoopsies. Pink. Okay, then green is raid. And then we need to do entrance. I have a positioning diagram. Yep. It needs a little bit of explanation. I just made it. I'm going over to Guild. Okay, it's in the PTR channel. So I need to explain what the colors are, because I didn't label it all. Anub'arak is black, that's the boss. Then the orange circle is Elk Bear tanking. And then the pink circles are the paladin tanks. The blue circles are where we want to have like ice patches. And then the green circle is where the rest of the raid is. What that means is we like basically keep the boss facing the same direction it is right now. And all the melees and all the range and all the healers run through the boss to the opposite side. And when you position like this, it's good because when the burrowers spawn, they essentially spawn and have to run through the tanks before they get to the raid. Whereas when you like flip things around, it's like difficult for the tanks to pick up the burrowers, and the burrowers like might gib someone in the raid. Does this make sense, kind of? Oh, I mean, yeah, the paladins should kind of like bring the mobs in as close to Anub'arak as they can while keeping them on the ice. That part's not like super clear. Because you want all the mobs within like cleave and AoE range of Anub'arak, but the two separate stacks of burrowers need to be far enough apart, and they both need to be on their respective ice patches. We can make it a little bit better. Look at this. Good. Burrower route. Raid. DPS plus healers. That's not how you spell healers. There we go. Okay. Ice. Ice. And then we need little red dots for... Look, this is a brilliant diagram, okay? This is brilliant. Hank. Wait, should be black. There we go. Hank. Guys. You're welcome for creating this amazing positioning diagram. You can share it with all of your guilds. Anub. And then we can go like this. Burrower, there. Let's get rid of this one. This one's stupid. Hang on. Eraser. Or let's see, let's call it Burrower spawn route. Okay. Brilliant. This is way better than version 1. Alright. I'll put it in my Discord also, so you guys can all see it in the general channel if you want to copy it. Huge. Okay, sorry, I was very focused on my paint diagram. I wasn't reading chat too much. Let me try to catch up. MS Paint, yeah? Have you heard about Raid Plan IO? Why do I need something better than paint? Are you implying there's a problem with paint? Because I don't think there's a problem with paint. Is it possible to skip phase 2? What's the raid DPS needed? Yes, it is possible, and I believe that will happen before the end of the phase. People will have enough DPS to do that. You can already do it in 10-man, and it's like super easy to do in 10-man. But you need a pretty pumper group to do it in 25-man. Like, some of the best DPS logs in the world of like fastest speed kills in Ulduar, they've got it locked down, but they're like doing a 1 tank, 1 healer setup, which you can't really do here. But they're achieving raid DPS levels high enough to skip phase 2 with a 1 tank, 1 healer setup. Which is, you know, not exactly realistic to apply to this situation, but, you know, you don't need that much more. Okay, they were talking about a whole lot of stuff. Wait, we're in a we're in a heated debate here. Bro, you gotta make it so the burrowers travel route gets to the tank. Wait, you gotta make it so the burrowers travel route doesn't get to the raid before the tank. Otherwise, it's lame to get aggro on them. Look, Faratha thinks my diagram sucks. It's okay, Faratha's cool. He might have a valid point. I just don't have time to figure out what that is right now. That ice is not exactly where it should be. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, we gotta kill these scarabs now. Alright. Okay, Spike's going towards Polterra. Evasion? So I don't die? Okay, he's back above ground. Nature damage? I don't think so. Oh, we didn't do enough cleave damage to the ads. I should probably go combat so I can do more cleave damage to the ads. If we're lacking in that department, that's something we can shore up by being combat. Okay. It's hiding to Adiabatics. It's going over that way. Gonna hit this. Okay. We have any more ice? No. Unlucky. Is it, emerge timer. Whoa. Whoa, please don't kill me. Oh, he hit the ice patch. Uh-oh, that's not good. There's no more ice patch now. Oh, we're dead. Okay. We gotta let the fight reset, and then release Spirit, and then we'll see what Faratha has to say about the positioning. Wait. Faratha has a new diagram. Doesn't get to the raid before the tank, otherwise it's lame to get aggro on them. So, he's got it a little bit different. With the tank on the opposite side and the raid here. Gonna die to drowning. Wait. Bro, did someone... Yo, how did these people die? Someone pressing, like, friggin' Path of Frost? Yeah, I think the goal of setting it up is... I mean, yeah, I don't think it's that big of a difference. I mean, you could do it, but, like, the tank has to be quick at picking up the mob. Okay, they don't like my positioning. Okay. What if I cut this out and move it up there? We need just the... Wait, what did I do? Delete that. This goes... here. Then this can go... over here. Raid DPS, tank, healers. Yeah. Basically like that. Okay. Oh, they did a shadow strike and they killed someone. Oh, cold debuff? Cloak it off. Okay, we gotta fight scarabs now before they enrage and become a problem. Okay, who's next? On Stirp. Oh, don't hit that patch. Ugh. Okay, who's next? Metatank. Yeah, you're gonna have to boot to get back around. It's coming out for this one. Needs to bop. Okay, that was close. Oh, everyone's fucked now. I'm dead. Almost dead. We are struggling. He's now at 40% health. Okay. Many bugs. Oh, one of my weapons is broke. Okay. We're gonna have to deal with that. I gotta put this on my guild Discord. Revised. There we go. Look, no one killed me with Path of Frost. Okay, that's pretty nice. This is looking like a world record pace. Yeah, we got him to 30%, and then his health started going up after that. Yeah, definitely world record pace right there. Alright, we'll go combat so we stop sucking ass or whatever. There we go. Berserking instant poison. This thing deadly poison. Do this one. And do that one. And do that one. And do that one. We're now a combat rogue. Does this need to be runestone? It should probably be runestone. Die in mid-air? What? How do you die in mid-air on that fall? I do not understand that. Dude. That's gross.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Okay, hold cooldowns till the ads show up. Oh, but Killing Spree boss. Killing Spree doesn't really help me very much when the ads are there, because it just, like, jerks around my position too much. Are you a fan of knives, perhaps? Oh, I'm not even winning on the meter. What the hell? I must be doing it wrong. Was I positioned poorly, perhaps? Maybe I wasn't hitting all of them? Okay, who's it gonna be on? Targeting WOTLK, okay. He's running. Alright, I don't want to go onto the ice patches. They're kind of annoying. Okay. Okay, it's on Vive. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Okay. I had to get out of the way there. Yeah, just kite for the full duration. You got 5 seconds left. Okay, here we are. We're on Anub'arak. Letting him get into position. Letting my energy go up. Okay, burrowers. I need to be attacking Anub'arak so that I have, Judgment of Light. Oof, I'm dead. What hit me? 4,000? Something hit me. Oh, never mind. I'm alive. Ooh, we're dead. Are Hunter dead? No, Hunter's not dead, so we should have aim shot up. Doesn't really seem to be going down in health very much. Feels like he's healing a lot. Yeah, probably. CBH Toxic says, aren't you worried about guilds stealing your strats streaming PTR on release? No. It doesn't affect me when someone else does good in a PvE instance. It actually doesn't affect my team at all if someone else, does well in their own instance. Okay. Let's see, did any of the rogues... Malmil's staying assassin, no stealth is... He's his wound poison on, okay. How dare you say it doesn't affect you? Yeah, no, it literally doesn't. That's what an instance is. Like, it's an instance of Trial of the Crusader where only my team gets to go in there. And other teams get their own instance where what they do doesn't affect me. I feel like I kind of want to go back to Assassination. Intruder, this one, this thing, this thing. There we go. Boss damage, Chad. Let's do it. Cleave, cringe. Right onto the boss. Hunger for blood. We'll save the speed potion for the end. Just doing big boss damage. Submerge in 10 seconds. Can DPS the burrower a little bit. Gotta be off the ice patch, though. Holy shit. That part's not okay. Pursue on Adia. I think maybe it just has to be dragged a little earlier to get him farther away from those front patches. Okay, it's on meta tank. I see that. Hunger for blood, please. Hunger for blood, please, please, please. Not happening. Okay. Oh, spikes on Vive. Oof. Alright, Trix tank. Hunger for blood up. Oh, shit. Tank dead. That's a Wiperino. Wipe is called. We're dying. Here we go. Okay. I wonder if we actually did high boss damage. Anub'arak, 1,050,000. And let's look at some of the higher individual damage dealers. Stirp has less boss damage. Max Decay has less boss damage. Cream has less boss damage. Less boss damage. Less boss damage. No stealth, less boss damage. Melmil was also Assassination, and he just beat me. Just straight up. Thor, less boss damage, less boss damage. Yeah, I mean, this is what we expected. Is like, we're focusing on the boss damage. So, like, we expect to beat these people that are, like, doing multi-target. Yep. No, it's not filthy patterns. It's just like we've got enough of that going on. I don't need to add more ad damage by like being combat and cleaving. Like we got that under control. What we need is more boss damage. That's what I think, at least. Here we go.
5,
Tricks of the trade.
2, 1.
They're decent ice patches. Look, when you just play Assassination and Tunnel Vision the boss, you don't need to worry about how the tanks are positioning the ads. Although the ads should be closer together. They're definitely not in, like, appropriate cleave range right now. Okay, switch to ads. They're moving him out of the way. Cloak off the ice debuff. It's on. Oops. Okay, let's see, it's on Vive. Okay. Yeah, so Supra, like me, was in the melee, and it's just, like, unfortunate. You need to move away just a little bit quicker to potentially avoid that. Now, see, Vive is standing still with a bop, and then moves in right as the bop was ending. That was very good. Rocket boot, okay. Where's the bop? The bop is already active, and then he moves in as the bop ends. Nice, perfect. Oh, who's it on right now? Okay, there we go. Fix the trade. Back on the boss. Pump, 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 pump. We do not want a second burrow phase. Okay, this ad positioning is a little bit better. They're closer together. It's pretty nice. New ads coming up. We're all on boss here. Okay, so we're basically being healed by Healing Stream Totem and Judgment of Light. Primarily. And that's keeping us just barely alive. And that's good, because the less health we have, the less health the Leeching Swarm... Wait, I just cloaked off Leeching Swarm? Oh, and then it got reapplied a little bit later. Okay, that was good. That was good, I think. Timmy, 1978 says, next phase is dual crafting engineering, still best in slot. And you just need to pick engineering and whatever other profession, it's fine. As long as you pick engineering plus something else that gives you a raid benefit, it's fine. If you want to obsess over a spreadsheet telling you, you know, one profession is like 5 or 10 DPS better than another, that's your prerogative. You can use simulation and spreadsheet tools to figure that out, but like in reality, it doesn't matter as long as you're picking a profession that gives you a, you know, engineering plus some other profession that gives you a combat benefit. Nah, see, what you're doing, you're misunderstanding how, like, a spreadsheet or simulator, like, the level of accuracy, if it tells you, like, you have a 10 DPS difference on your 12,000 DPS character, what that means is there's no difference. That's what that means. I think people really, really like believing that our spreadsheet and simulator tools are perfect representations of what happens in the game. So, like, some category of players of this game, like, they just abide by whatever the spreadsheet or simulator says. They're like, oh my god, if I switch this gem from hit to crit, the spreadsheet says I gained 4 DPS. And it's like, you don't have to change your gem. A misunderstanding. Actually, a single gem for 4 DPS, that's usually not what you get. You usually get way less than that. But, yeah. And also, you say if 25 people have a 10 DPS upgrade, 25 people in your raid aren't damage dealers. You never have 25 damage dealers in a raid. Thinking, what is better to swap alchemy for was main question, as alchemy isn't really... yeah, it is. It increases the benefit of your Flask of Endless Rage. You get 80 more attack power, like just about every other profession. I would not say that you really have a strong raid performance incentive to switch off of alchemy.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think Super accidentally hit a taunt button. Now he's done. Yeah, the ice patches are a little bit too far apart. How do you hit taunt by... Dude, it's the same way I, like, press any random button by accident. Just like, man, you're not focused, you know, you just, you know, your finger slips a little bit to one side or whatever. Maybe you mispositioned your hand on the keyboard. Lots of ways you just accidentally hit the wrong button. Where's this burrow? Coming out in 7 seconds. There. So Anub'arak's all the way over there. Pursue on Thor. We're gonna clean up these burrower ads. Now we're gonna go to the swarm scarabs. Where's the spikes going? Oh boy. Okay, he's got a bop. 5-4, so he should move in pretty soon. Ooh, he took a hit. He put it right to the edge there. It's on Maze. We got one last PTR session, but I haven't gotten a single pursue so far this session. Okay, the Submerge is coming back. There we are. I gotta get better at getting in position when the Submerge happens, or when the Emerge happens. Because I feel like I miss a lot of damage time on the boss because, like, the boss comes up and I'm not there. I have to walk to the boss. Maybe the tank isn't right there. If I could pre-press my Tricks of the Trade to make sure I've got it active on the tank, and then basically just, like, get really close to where Anub'arak is going to come up, I could get extra attacking time. Anyways, the thing I was talking about before, I don't think I fully finished explaining it. Some people think that, like, our spreadsheets and our simulator tools are perfect, and they're not. They're approximate. So, like, when you have a kind of approximate tool and it tells you, you know, you have a 5 or maybe 10 DPS difference on a 12,000 DPS character, it's just not statistically significant, is the answer. You know, the tool's approximate. We, like, we do our best, but, like, when it's detecting such a small difference, the right interpretation of that is usually that there is no meaningful difference. Okay, we're tunneling boss damage right now. I am holding my Cloak of Shadows in case I get penetrating cold. Cloak. And we're dead. Alright, release Spirit. Back to Anub'arak. This is, like, the other encounters are, like, there's some mechanics on the other encounters, like, you gotta learn them, but, like, Anub'arak is definitely the most difficult, and is definitely a step up in difficulty compared to the other bosses in this raid. Do I have any glyph I might want to put on? No, we're Assassination. Our Assassination glyphs are locked in. We don't mess with those. Combat, you can mess with your glyphs if you want to. Got an unenchanted Fang of Oblivion. An Abyss for next phase. Yep. You can find that on the Discord. Okay. We need Deadly Poison here. What are you pooling to between Envenom? I have my Weak Aura set to go to 45 energy when I have 5 combo points and go to 60 energy when I have 4 combo points. It just turns orange. Which is a pretty low threshold considering I only have 2 ranks in Relentless Strikes. I have the 18-2 build. It's a pretty high threshold if I were to take, you know, the 5 ranks of Relentless Strikes, the 13-7 build. I would not want those thresholds, really. Energy pooling, it's kind of like... I got used to doing it basically from phase 1 on, but it's better understood now that energy pooling doesn't really have a big effect on your damage. Essentially, sometimes if you pool to high energy amounts and then you... wait, hang on. I'm going to have to explain that next attempt, because we're about to just go. Basically, I wouldn't worry too much about... Oh, I tricked to the wrong person. Oh, shit. I just saw that my Tricks of the Trade was on the wrong target, so I fixed that. Just canceled it. Wait. Maybe someone else pressed... I'll just double check my macro. I'll double check my macro, make sure this is trixing onto Alphabet. Wait, 2 people dead? What the... Shadow Strikes went out? Oh, I think I switched the Tricks macro in my combat build, but not in my assassin build. Alright, they're just calling wipe. We had a couple of mistakes on that pull there. Anyways, basically, when you pool to high energy values and then you, like, get a Ruthlessness proc and only need to do 1 Mutilate to get ready for your next Envenom, what can happen is you can have an Envenom running and you can get up to full energy and be forced to do an Envenom while you already have 1 active, essentially wasting some of the duration of that first one, which is bad. The whole point of energy pooling is to get more ability casts while you have Envenom in, so active, like more Mutilates. Each Mutilate you do, you know, is 3 chances to trigger poison. If you ever get into that situation where you have to clip an Envenom, because, like, it's better to clip the Envenom than to cap your energy. Like, that's just it. When you get into that situation, that's the least bad of your options. As soon as you clip an Envenom and, like, lose 1 second of Envenom time from that clipping, it's like, well, how many attacks were going to happen in that 1 second? At least 2. Somewhere between 2 and 3, maybe slightly above 3. So you think, like, okay, 1 second of clipped Envenom is, let's say, 3 attacks. So, like, for every extra Mutilate you got because of pooling that you wouldn't have got if you didn't, well, then that's subtracted. You know, it's balanced off by, like, having to clip an Envenom. So, I think the TLDR version is, if you're not already used to doing any kind of energy pooling, probably don't bother. If you're already kind of locked and loaded with energy pooling, or, like, you have a weak aura like I do that, like, completely takes your brain out of it, set the energy thresholds really low for what your particular setup. And the lower you set the energy thresholds, the less likely it is that you get into that situation where you clip an Envenom. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It was kind of a lot to basically say that that energy pooling is kind of, you know, do it or don't, who cares, is basically... Okay, now I know I have Tricks of the Trade, boom, in Elk Bear. That's what we want. Yeah, the energy bar weak aura is in the Discord. All my weak auras are already in the Discord and have been for a long time. See, like here, I'm just barely avoiding clipping. Now I might clip here. Just, no, not quite, not quite. Didn't clip. Owning. But it was getting close to the point where I was like, this might be an issue. Yeah, it's basically when the bar is yellow, you're supposed to mutilate. When the bar is faded, you're supposed to just do nothing and wait. And then when the bar is orange, you're supposed to envenom. And, like, do all your other things when you're supposed to, too. That's just talking about those abilities. Creeps 2K22 says, good morning. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Thank you for 3 months of support. Thank you. That's wonderful. Okay, we gotta move away. We can't safely DPS those in case it chooses to chase us. Now it's chasing Judel, so we can come back in and, like, safely DPS these. Basically, we don't want to break either of those ice patches, because they're, like, really well positioned for us. So we wanted to make sure, like, if he chose us first, and we were still right next to those ice patches, we'd kind of have a problem. He'd probably pop one of those ice patches. So I moved away, and then when I saw it wasn't on me, then I was like, okay, it's safe to come back in and damage the burrowers. Dude, I want to get pursued. Okay, emerge in 10 seconds. Got Tricks of the Trade ready. There. Back on the boss pretty quick there. That was good, I think. Sauce Party. Sausage Party. I see the name now. Okay. Thank you for the Prime. Thank you for 4 months of support. I appreciate that. Creeps, for you it may be morning, but for me, it is 9:45 p.m. We've been going hard all day today. Burrower's dead. Approaching. Here we go. It's time. Burn boss. Yeah, see, I'm clipping some envenoms. Unlucky. I mean, I'm also maintaining 100% envenom uptime, so it's like, is it really that bad? No, it's not really that bad. Looking good here. We only have 1 dead. Burn boss, burn boss, burn boss. Oh, please. I need healing. I'm so low. Dude, it's so scary. I'm surviving at just a sliver of health, and I never know if I'm about to die to the next tick or not. Or if I'll get, like, a healing stream proc, or a whatever proc. And we're dead. And that was close. PVK, were you doing aim shot that time? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I was wondering if, like, because no stealth switched to wound poison, so I wondered if you stopped doing aim shot and then he died, and then I was like, oh, maybe there's not a thing. Yeah. Yeah, both me and Melmil are on Assassination spec for, like, maximum boss damage. And no stealths are only combat right now. Is there a Mortal Strike on bosses? HP is not going down. Yeah, towards the end, I was concerned. Like, I was actually just talking to the team about that. We have no stealth running Wound Poison, but he died a little bit early. PVK has, like, aim shot as part of his, like, regular rotation, but it may not be 100% uptime. So the goal with that phase, once he does Leeching Swarm, what you really want is you want everyone in the raid to have as little health as possible. Because the Leeching Swarm deals, every, like, tick of Leeching Swarm deals a percentage of your current health as damage, and then heals the boss. So if you're at full health and Leeching Swarm ticks, it deals you a lot of damage, and it heals the boss for a lot of health. But if you can keep everyone at just like a sliver of health, each tick of Leeching Swarm will only do a little bit of damage to them, and it'll only heal the boss a little bit. So that's kind of why, like, everyone is, like, right on the edge of death. That's intentional. Okay. Easy. Why not 4 Shadow Priests? Because we don't have 4 Shadow Priests. I think that would actually be an insane strategy and very good. Healing Stream Totem, Judgment of Light Healing, Shadow Priest, Vampiric Embrace are all very good. These things that just, like, heal everyone for a little bit of health at a time is just, like, the perfect way to heal people on this encounter. Ready? I'm kind of excited to look at the logs for this. I'm sure someone's logging and we'll upload them. But, like, the comparisons of total damage output on each of these attempts versus, like, boss-only damage output. Are you aware of Fury Warrior heal reduction stacking with Warlock heal reduction? We are using this to Zerg Freya. Does it also stack with a... I mean, does that result in more than 50% reduction? Like, is that better than a wound poison or an aimed shot? I think Shadow Priests have a heal reduction as well. Those classes have, That's actually good to note. Isn't the Warrior one 50%? Yeah, the Warrior one's 50%, and then the Warlock heal reduction... Let's see. Somewhere in the affliction tree. What the hell? Cast time of... increases the amount, and while your health is at or below... No, it's not this talent. Which one is it in this tree? Reset the duration. No. Where is it? And reduces all periodic healing done to the target by 2%. Shadow Embrace. That's the one. Reduces all periodic healing done to the target by... Yeah, so that would be 10% right there from Shadow Embrace. Stacks up to 3... Oh, stacks up to 3 times. So yeah, that's 30%. I'm being told that apparently the Warrior's healing reduction effect stacks with the Warlock's healing reduction effect. And you can put it up to... I mean, it just like additively stacks, and then you have an 80% reduction, which doesn't really sound intended. Oh, sorry. The Furious Attacks. The Fury Warrior one. It is a Twitch chatter suggesting this to me. They say they use it to Zerg Freya. Which, yeah. Yeah, Elmlock, it's 10% per stack. Doesn't that Shadow Embrace thing say stacks up to 3 times? I'd assume so? Maybe. That's actually maybe not sure yet. Freya is definitely periodic healing. I don't know if Leeching Swarm is. The basic Fury Warrior healing reduction is the basic Mortal Strike effect, like aim shot and wound poison. Ones are their own versions that should stack with all basic MS effects. Improved leader of the pack. Do I have... I don't have any resist flasks. Uh-oh. One of our druids, their power went out? Wait, we might have lost some people. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, if people have to leave, this could be the end of our raid. Let's see if we can find, see what we can do here. They're gonna try pulling it with only 2 tanks this time. So we're going to have 1 Paladin tank tanking the boss plus 2 adds, and we're going to have the other Paladin tank tanking 2 adds. And see what happens. Let's see, I don't know what the verdict was on this Furious Attacks thing. Yeah, okay, I don't think we're messing with that. We might just like test that in more controlled circumstances. Like, after the raid, like, go on, you know, duels or target dummy or, you know, something like that. Stack the debuffs, see what happens. Akemi Wow, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Okay.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Okay. Let's see how this works with 2 tank. Oh, wait, someone's dead on pull already? Okay, that's fine. We're just single targeting the boss. We don't really care about our position relative to the ads. Look, Convict's totally fine. His health totally isn't spiking down to 20% every once in a while, risking death. And, you know, whatever. He has Argent Defender procced already. Don't worry about it. See? Everything's fine. Just tank all of it at once. It's fine. Submerge soon. Okay, so that didn't really work. That definitely did not work. What I'm calling it. Oh, that just killed. Wait, I got DI'd. Nice. Yeah, the boss needed to be pulled out before submerge. Alright, remove DI. They're debating whether they want to try 2 tanking in. The problem is that the person who's tanking Anub'arak and 2 ads, they just take a lot of damage. Dude, this boss looks kind of cool. Those giant-ass claws he's got. Wait, why doesn't he... He needs to do something where he, like, picks up his claws and you can see him again. You can 2-tank if you tank the boss at one of the burrowers spawns and have a hunter ice trap the other side, and you nuke down the 2 before the others arrive. Oh. Wait, hang on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This place will serve as your tomb.
Maybe hold my tricks of the trade to, like, just blast these things. Cloak, because I had the frosty... Oh, these are all together now. Yep, tank is dead. Okay. We are definitely effed. Okay, that's a bit of a Keck W. Not a very good attempt. Oh my. Don't actually stack, because I thought they did. To know about Warlock's 30% healing over time reduction. Heroes. Guess something finicky could be going on there, like the other guy hinted, yeah. I had a suggestion from chat that I thought sounded good for the 2-tank strategy. You tank the boss on one of the burrower spawn points, and then the opposite burrower spawn point gets like a hunter frost trap. And when they spawn, like, everyone switches and zergs them down before they can, like, get to the tank. I think they're visible. There's, like, little rumbles on the ground, like a graphic you can see. Zemi, how's it going? Is this boss hard? Yes. This is the hard boss in the encounter. And it's the last boss, or in the raid. And it's the last one, so. Wait. How do I get out of here? What percent of your HP per second does the Leeching Swarm mechanic do? I can't find detail. I don't remember the exact percentage. I think it's significant, though, like 20 or 30%. Alright, we are done with the 25 here. Some people were talking about doing a 10, but... And I thought maybe I'd do that, but... This has been a really long stream. I think I'm gonna call it here. Ice Coffee says, by the way, hi Simon. Sorry I didn't say that before bombarding you with... Oh, don't worry about it, my man. 10% of current HP or 250 damage. Okay. Only 10%. Did you try block set? What kind of gear was tanks? The block sets were tested in the first PTR, and it was determined that the block sets no longer really work. Basically, the idea of the block set was like the ads have a debuff that they put on the tank that like increases their damage taken by a percentage. And the idea of the block set was that the flat damage reduction of a block would be subtracted off before that percentage damage increase was applied. And thus, you could just almost entirely negate your damage taken with very high block value and block chance. The way it seems to actually be working is that the percentage increase is applied first, then the flat reduction from block is subtracting off of that. So, because of that different order of how those two effects are being applied, the block sets are, like, not a thing. You just, like, do normal tank gear. Anyways, this is all good. We had a marathon of a stream today. I hope you guys liked it. I'm almost certain no one stayed for the whole thing, but we started out with a Ulduar 10-man on live servers where we just used Shard of Azzinoth the entire time for fun. And we summoned a bunch of Embers of Azzinoth. And you know what? My Embers of Azzinoth did 17,000 damage on Algalon. It was great. Ripple, you were here? You were here the whole time? The whole 11? Wow. You must really like the Simonized show. Then we went, after that sick Ulduar, we went to Hardcore Classic. We did a Razorfin Crawl dungeon. It was great. We found a rare spawn Ogre in Arathi Highlands that dropped Kovork's Rattle, one of the very few 3.0 speed one-handed weapons. Oh, that was a sick weapon upgrade we got. That was very cool. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's stream will probably start a little bit later, but we're still going to have that 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 25 mans with the guild. And hopefully we'll be able to down Anub'arak during our PTR time tomorrow. So, I hope you all will join me tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I'm going to go make myself, some food. Dinner. Good night, you guys. Thank you for all the support you guys give me. Let's go on to Twitch and see if we can find someone else doing some sweet World of Warcraft stuff, and we can send a raid